Well, what are you laughing about? Yes. All right. That's good to be happy. Yeah, let's don't even go there. Well, would you like to go into the exercise I started talking about? Are you okay, Debbie? Everything good? Okay, good. All right. This exercise, I have to be honest with you. To my knowledge, at least to my present awareness, I'm not. I don't know that I've ever heard anybody do what I'm thinking about sharing with you here. So I'm experimenting with you a little bit. But I think it's really good, and I enjoyed it. So I don't know how deep we go because there's multiple layers, but we'll just see. How about that? Sound interesting? Yeah. Well, I looked across the entire room. I think it has to do. So what we want to do is, I want you to breathe deeply and begin to open up your heart. And the object here is that we want to visualize somebody that they exhibit the characters or the habits or the mannerisms or the maturity that you admire, and that you'd like to have some of that in your life. Just think about it for a second. Can you think of somebody like that? And then just put that picture out in front of you. Can you do that? And if you want to have your eyes closed, you're welcome to do that. Oftentimes that's helpful, but you don't have to. And breathe. And then if they have a name, if it's actually a person, then you know who they are. And I know this may sound kind of strange, but we're in a visualization, so things can shift. But I want you to see them standing in front of you, and now I want them to turn into like a tree that has fruit. And on that tree, those items of fruit are on that tree. And that fruit is some of the characters and traits that you know that they have. Can you see that? And now what we want to do is we want to go up to that tree and we want to pick one of those pieces of fruit. Can you do that? From those characters or traits, can you see that? Can you feel that? And then you take that fruit in your hand, and sometimes on fruit trees, sometimes there's things that may have gotten into it, or maybe it's even bad fruit, because on fruit trees you can have a lot of good fruit, but you may have a few that's bad fruit. So just kind of break open the fruit or cut it and look at it and make sure it's good. And it's good, and it's those traits that you want. And then, since we're visualizing this, we'll just put it back together, and it closes up. And whatever that fruit represents, when you eat it later, it will go into your system. What do you think about that? Now, because we're in a visualization, we're just going to shrink that fruit down so that we can put it in our pocket or be easier to hold on to. And then later, we can make it larger. In fact, we can make it real large. It's up to you. You follow me so far? Is that too much for you? Now, in my visualization today, I actually did 3 of these. Okay? And I want you to see another person that has maybe some of those traits and other traits that you would like to have in your life. And you see them out in front of you, and you see them shift into a tree with fruit on them. And you do the same thing. You walk up and you pick one of those fruit, those traits that you want in your life. Maybe it's strength, maybe it's compassion, maybe it's wisdom, maybe it's love, maybe it's tolerance. And then you shrink it down so you can put it in your pocket. And now you're back in your seat and you see one more person that may have some of the same traits but maybe different one. And they're standing there in front of you. You didn't notice before, but they all were smiling at you. And this one is too. Because they're there to help you. And now you walk up and you take another piece of fruit. And you cut it open. And it's good. And you put it back together. And you shrink it down. And you put it in your pocket. Take a deep breath. And you're in your seat. Do you want to go to the next step? I have one no, but no yeses. I got a couple of yeses now. Well, this is the last one here. And this is the perfect example. The one that has it all. One that is all good fruit. And that representation would be Jesus, would be God. In my visualization, it was all 3. It was the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. And you're sitting there and you see them and he turns, or they turn into a tree with fruit. Now this tree's a little different because those trees are more of the fruit is more of a golden look to them. And when you walk up to the tree and now ask for guidance, ask for the Holy Spirit, God, or Jesus to tell you which fruit you need on that tree. Wherever it's at on that tree. And whichever one that it is, we're going to ask that it lights up so that you know which one it'll be. And if it's up high, it'll bend low so that you can pick it. Do you have it? And then we have that fruit that's in our hand, and it's not only gold, but it's also translucent. And it glows, but it's firm. It's different. You recognize there's even more in this fruit than in the others. And now while we're here, shall we just go ahead and take a bite of this fruit? Can you do that? We take a bite, and it goes in. When it goes into our stomach, it feels good. It's pleasant. It's sweet, but not too sweet. It's hard, but not too hard. It's just right. And then you realize that it kind of breaks up in light. And it kind of filters throughout your entire body. Radiates inside of you, touching every cell, bringing that light that's in the fruit to every part of you. Can you see that? How does that feel? Feel it. And then the light moves to the outside of you. And it returns back to the giver of that light. And you turn to go back to your seat. And you realize that fruit, the bite that you took, replaced that bite. It's solid again. And now you realized you were dealing in the area of the flesh, but now we're seeing something in the spirit, because now you realize that you didn't see it before, but now you're enveloped with light. It's all around you. And as you go back to your chair, it's kind of like you're being a little bubble coming off of a big bubble. And the light goes with you. He's always there. What do you think of that? How does that feel? To know that it's with you. He's with you. His presence is with you. If you can hold on to that, will that make a difference in your life? Breathe. 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 Remember. Now, if you had your eyes closed, you can open your eyes. What do you think? Now, I didn't tell you what everything meant. I said a few things, but I believe that you started filling in some of those gaps. The gaps that you have that you needed. Does that make sense?